Hi, I'm Dave Stoop, and I'm sitting here with Steve Arterburn, and we're the co-editors of the Life Recovery Bible. And we're talking about the 12 steps, and today we're looking at step number 10, where we are now continuing our journey outward in working through things that we do that harm other people or mislead other people or whatever it is that we have been doing that maybe are patterns of our coping past that are lingering on, and so we need to continue to do this personal inventory. It's something we will do for the rest of our life, where we become aware of what we're doing and how it's affecting other people.
Yeah.
That's a part of growth, isn't it?
Well, it's a part of growth, and it's a part of relationship. And I remember having a lunch with a person, and it just didn't go well. And as I examined why it didn't go well, it was because I didn't really respect who this person was, what they had accomplished, and be aware that they had quite a large ego. And if I had been aware of that and had worked with that, it would have been a positive experience. So there was no relationship between the two of us when that lunch was over. But I do try to stay current on this, and I do try to continue to take that inventory. And so I wrote him a letter, and I apologized for my insensitivity and just the other things about that lunch. Now we have a relationship.
Wow.
So it's a wonderful healer when we stop and tell somebody that, I really failed here.
Well, that our tendency would be to say, "Oh well,
Yeah.
it's his problem." And this step says, no, you don't ever do that. And even if it is his problem, you don't do that. You say, what's my part of it?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you did, and you took the effort then to do something about it, and it brought a strengthening and a healing of the relationship, which is powerful.
Let me share the verse. It's, if you think you're standing strong, be careful not to fail. That's 1 Corinthians 10:12. And in this verse, essentially we're saying, be careful not to fail. Be aware of what you do, and that is a powerful awareness if we're committed to going back and making amends with folks every time we hurt someone. Mm-hmm. So we're more in tune with who they are, and we're more involved in the relationship in a healthy way, because we know if we take that inventory, we're going to have to go back, and we're going to have to say we're sorry, and it's going to be painful. And so it becomes a motivation for us not to fail.
Well, yeah, and it's also a part of our personal journey that, if I blame everything on somebody else, there's no insight, there's no growth, there's no healing going on inside of me. And so regardless of the situation, what this step is saying, I may be in a situation that's 99% the other person and 1% me. I want to understand that 1%. And so I'm not going to just dismiss it and say, forget about it. I'm going to say, what is it that I need to learn in this situation? I talk with people a lot about when bad things happen relationally for them, I say, well, what is it you need to learn? What is it that God's trying to show you in this situation? Don't focus on the other person's contribution. Let's look at what you brought to the table. And that's what this step is doing. It's saying, don't go back to the old ways of blaming.
Right.
Stay in that journey, and the journey, you've done the journey inward, now you're doing the journey outward. Stay in that process and continue to examine and look at yourself, because there's a great reward in that, because you become the person God intended you to be.
Another way to look at it is to say that this is a daily taking responsibility for my actions every day and doing something about it. And it won't happen if we don't have those two powerful words that we've been developing through the steps, and that is humble willingness.
Exactly. This keeps me in that humble willingness.
Right.